Hello, it's Tania Gabrielle, Wealth Astrologist. Welcome to Star Codes, where today we're going to look at the Leo full moon. Now, you don't have to be a Leo or have Leo rising or a Leo moon to benefit from this forecast. It is for all signs. You have Leo somewhere in your birth chart, so you definitely want to listen in on this forecast. Now, the Leo full moon happens on February 9th at 7:33 a.m. Universal Time. That's 2:33 a.m. in New York Eastern Time and 11:33 p.m. on February 8th Pacific Time. So for most of the world, it is on the 9th, including Universal Time. Now, the moon in Leo is at 20 degrees opposite the sun in Aquarius, also at 20 degrees. And we're in 2020, so we have this incredible 2020 quadruple code activated, which we also had, if you remember, last month for the eclipse in Cancer. So this number 20 is being ingrained and assimilated in a big way through the cosmic codes, having the first two full moons at 20 degrees in our first decade of 2020 is pretty astounding. So we're going to cover that number 20 and 2 again, but in relation to the Leo full moon. It happens on February 9th during a 6 universal month, and those are the numbers of love and compassion. So we're going to look at that. The date is important too, because it also activates the same code. It's pretty astounding. And Leo also is governed by the sun. So there's so much to share in terms of that passion. And of course, we'll look at the quadruple code, which, by the way, happens for the 5th consecutive time. So we had 3 full moons at the end of 2019, at the end of the decade, and we're going to have 3 full moons at the beginning of the 2020s happening at 20 degrees, which is pretty amazing. So we'll look at that. And we'll also go into Mars, because Mars plays a pivotal role in a very positive way, firing up the fire sign of Leo. And as always, we'll end with tips and takeaways. So let's take a closer look at Leo first, because Leo is what's considered the royal sign. It is governed by the sun, which is our star. So Leo fires you up to explore what inspires you. This is all about your enthusiasm, your internal passion to be creative and dive into a creative project. And Leo is also very loyal and kind. It's very encouraging because it governs courage, so it likes to encourage others. And Leo takes the lead. Leo is the king. The lion is the king of the animal kingdom. So Leo is very resolute and proud and takes action and can be very dramatic as well. So you can also discover, even if you don't have a Leo, you have Leo somewhere in your birth blueprint. So it's really a great time when we're in this Leo full moon period to discover where you are lit up from within, how you are to take the lead. And it's all revealed in your own star code map. So go to starcodeclass.com, discover more about your birthday, your birth name, and your astrology birth code at starcodeclass.com. Now, this full moon happens at 20 degrees Leo and 20 degrees Aquarius. And we're in 2020, so that's a quadruple 20 code, which really dives back into that ability to listen, to relate through acute attention and inner awareness. It governs partnership, and it governs bringing harmony in all areas of your life, because 20 is about that ability to bring balance. And the full moon is also about bringing harmony, bringing opposites into a unified energetic vibration. So the 2000s and the 2020s, which really just kicked off the real meaning of the number 2, which is the 1,000 years of twos that we've now entered, is very much about that ability to intuit by taking time and patience to wait for the call to speak or to act. So we're moving away from an impulsiveness that was created with creating breakthroughs with the number 1, which we had for so long. And we're moving into what trust and intuition really help us do, live a life of joy, because we're not pushing, we're not opening things and moving things before we're ready. So it is really up to us to choose joy. And the difference between living a life of joy or living a life of misery lies in your ability to attune, to listen. And that's what 20 is aligned with. So the date, the 9th of February, adds up to 15, and that's a 6. And 15 is the spiritual alchemist. 6 and 9 are the numbers of love. 9 is unconditional love. 6 is human love. February is a 6th universal month in 2020. So this is a very loving, passionate, romantic full moon. And the moon trines Mars, and the sun sextiles Mars. And Mars, of course, is about that passion, that physical passion. Mars rules Aries. Aries is a fire sign. Leo is a fire sign. So this trine from the moon in Leo to Mars is very powerful. It's passionate. It is about warmth and everything that Leo represents, the enthusiasm, the drive, being enterprising and acting on your instincts and seeking that independent, free spirit. Just stepping up and allowing yourself to feel that joy and to feel that sacred warrior spirit, that Mars spirit within you. It really heightens your creative process, and it also may make you a little bit more impulsive and impatient. So just channel that into something that will slow you down and allow you to breathe and still feel very activated. Now the moon forms a 150-degree quincunx to Pluto, and the sun forms a 150-degree quincunx to Neptune. Very interesting. These very slow-moving planets are touching both the sun and moon. Moon quincunx Pluto means your feelings will be even more intense. Pluto dives deeply into the truth and uncovers those deep-seated feelings we may have neglected. And the full moon is very much an emotional experience. It gets you in touch with those feelings. So if you have this changeable situation where your moods might be fluctuating or you might be overreacting, oppositions are meant to bring things into harmony, meaning the full moon, and Pluto is just showing you something that you may not have seen before. It's uncovering a truth that may trigger you initially, but you want to channel those deep discoveries and feelings into something that is creative. So the quincunx 150 degrees is what I call the genius aspect. So it wants you to use your intuition and listen and breathe and create something or say something or write something that you've never considered before. So there's an emotional empowerment theme with Pluto that's going on. It is strengthening you from the inside. It's allowing you to be much more connected psychically, vibrationally to the people around you. And so you'll feel your surroundings and you'll feel the connections and you'll feel others and what vibration they're on in a deep way, which allows you also to move that energy in a positive, healing way. Now, the moon quincunx Neptune is very refined, very, very spiritual, musical. It allows you to bond in a loving, caring, sweet, tender way. And it also heightens your psychic awareness. So this is a very intuitive, centered full moon because you have the delicacy of this moon Neptune transit, which just allows you to feel things between the notes, as you say in music, between the words. You actually sense what's actually going on. And that means you're in touch with other dimensions and dreams and fantasies and mystical experiences are more available to you, deep conversations with friends. So it's a very profound Leo full moon. There's a lot of different aspects to it that generate an inner awakening and truly connect us with a joyful existence. So now the question becomes, how do we take advantage of this Leo full moon? Now, Jupiter sextiles Neptune during the full moon. The exact date of the sextile happens on the 20th of February, and I'm going to create a Star Code podcast about it because it is so exciting. It hasn't happened since 2011, and in 2011, Jupiter sextile Neptune only happened once. Now in 2020, they're going to connect 3 times, and it's such a fortunate moment because Jupiter is the planet of fortune, of expansion and wisdom and truth, and then Neptune is the planet of dreams and mysticism, unconditional love, spirituality, brotherhood, sisterhood. So what this means is that your dreams are coming true. And this is going to last throughout 2020. It's one of the most wonderful aspects that we can experience, Jupiter sextile Neptune. And since Jupiter is in Capricorn, the sign that governs the 10th house in astrology, which is about your career, it means that you're taking the lead in your work environment. You're expanding positively and spiritually in that environment of structure. So that means there's rapid personal growth, rapid spiritual growth in all areas of your life. So let's look at some tips and takeaways to help you through this Leo full moon. You know, there's so many 2s, so many 20s. You're focusing on awareness, you're focusing on internal listening, internal awareness, you and your inner voice, and external listening, external awareness, you and another, listening so closely. So Leo governs creative joy. Aquarius governs intuitive freedom. So the joy to set yourself free, to liberate yourself from misery is very, very strong. Leo is a very happy sign. It wants the sun, the light of the sun, which rules Leo, to light you up from the inside. So it is a great time to look at, well, why do I feel miserable about this part of my life? And do something about it. Feel your way through that moment. As long as your level of joy is dependent on external feedback or input or another person, which is codependency, you'll always have some kind of unfulfilled desire or complaint or challenges because, you know, it doesn't matter how wonderful the person is or how wonderful the location is where this is happening, whatever the situation is, you need to find creative activities that stimulate that sense of timelessness, meaning when you engage in that activity, you lose all sense of time because it is so fulfilling to you. Passionate engagement is the theme of Leo, and spiritual fulfillment is very much part of this Leo full moon. So being with people because of a sense of love is much easier when you are already in that place of passionate, joyful engagement. So then you're not seeking for the external to fulfill you. You don't even engage in codependency at all because you are fulfilling your internal needs, your sustenance, your soul-centered needs. You're happy inside first. So paying attention to that internal happiness is what the number 20 and what Leo are asking you to do. And Leo's asking you to do it with pleasure, right? And by the way, when you find that internal sense of joy and pleasure, you realize you cannot, it doesn't get better than that. Nobody else can give that kind of pleasure and joy and happiness and passion to you. It is actually not possible. So pleasure, fun, joyful activity, freedom, they're all in play right now. They're there for you to explore. So what you want to do is only indulge in words, in thoughts, in feelings, in actions that lead to an outcome that is joyful, joyful implementation, joyful engagement, joyful interactions with others. Pay very, very close attention to that. The full moon means the sun and moon are opposite each other. They're seeking harmony, not misery. So if you feel yourself getting to a place where you're seeking joy, but there is confusion about it because maybe there's a contradiction. So that would mean you might feel that a certain aspect of your life, let's say it's a relationship, you love certain things about that person, but then there are other things that drive you crazy about that person, right? So, and this is natural. I mean, after all, we're human, we're all unique, and we're never going to always feel the same about things, nor should we. That would be pretty boring. And the universe is about creation and growth. So that would mean there is some kind of conflict there or a contradiction. We need to work that energy into one. So if we don't address that conflict, then our thoughts and feelings will not be synchronized, and then we will feel restricted. So when we indulge in an approach to that situation with that person that focuses on the blessings, the gratitude we have, then we ultimately create a solution instead of focusing on what that person does not provide us. And basically the solution is within. You don't seek to be validated in any way. And this can be hard because we do seek validation. It starts when we're young from our parents, but we need to move away from that. We need to understand that seeking external validation is the source of misery. And Leo is all about setting yourself free and being in a place of joy, but you cannot be fully joyful if you are still seeking to be accepted in some way. So focus on the solution. The solution usually in this kind of situation is to be grateful for what the outcome is. And if you don't have enough sense of, I feel so excited, I feel so grateful for so many things, then maybe the relationship needs to be shifted, either changed or let go of. So the point is to only focus and see what brings greater fulfillment. Focus on that. That will always take you through those moments because you're going to create positive momentum instead of negative momentum. And you're showing the universe clearly what it is you like as opposed to what it is you don't like. So again, if you focus on the problem, on the conflict, on, oh, this person's doing this again, you're sending mixed messages and you will be receiving mixed returns. So focus on the positive outcome at all times. Leo is a fire sign. It will get you very, very passionate about whatever it is you want to be passionate about. And because fire needs oxygen to fuel the flames, if you remove that oxygen, the fire extinguishes itself. So find high vibrational oxygen to fuel that fire. Keep the fire going with your internal passion, with that Leo energy, with the fuel of joy, with gratitude, with love. And then the Aquarius interdependence liberation theme, which we're all moving into now due to the Aquarian age. That is so important to just embrace, right? So do this with anything in your life. Focus on the positive outcome, because as with any fire, you can give it low vibrational oxygen as well to fuel that fire, and it will take that fuel and run with it. You don't want to run with that kind of vibration, right? You want to work with the vibration of joy. Remember that Leo is ruled by our sun, a star. So let your light shine. Feel free to explore. Life is experiential. Remember, life is not about taking on beliefs that we haven't experienced as truth. Life is about being the seeker and a constant, endless series of explorations and discovery that you make. So make your life passionate by experiencing it in the most optimal way you can. And when you don't feel like you can be positive, then you must rest. You must take a time out. Then you're just depleted, right? So it is very important to just pay attention. So the number 20, the 2020 Leo full moon, the way this number 20 is being activated in so many ways at the onset of the decade, it's asking you to listen and just be very, very self-aware. And then all this joy and abundance and passion and enthusiasm that incorporates Leo is going to be at your beck and call at all times. It's just reminding you now with this full moon. So enjoy that, and definitely seek out your own star code. That's a journey of discovery to begin with. It's one of the most exciting ones you can take, is to discover who you are at soul level, your sacred geometry. Go to starcodeclass.com. It's loads of fun. It is about you after all, and also you can learn a lot about your friends and family while you're at it. So enjoy that at starcodeclass.com, And I will see you in next week's Star Code podcast. Have a wonderful Leo full moon. Bye-bye for now.